And we're live, everyone. It's the Daily 10 with Dex and V with my man Frank in the back. Can't you see?
Yeah, I don't get in the
views.
title, but I'm here. I don't get in the title, but I'm here.
Yeah, you're just here.
But to be fair, I came up with the title. I just felt like it was getting long. If you're going to
call him Fair Frank.
Fair
Frank the Fair.
Please don't. I'm still upset about the old nickname that we finally stopped using.
Which one? Ever seen?
No, don't bring it up. I'm sure they'll bring it up in comments.
We'll call him Frank the Fair. Frank the Fair is here.
Don't do that. Don't say that.
It could be worse. It could be Frank the Fairy, but
that's what it.
All right.
This is why we can't be friends.
Frank.
This is why we only talk on air and don't talk in real life anymore.
Yeah.
We're only business. It's only a business relationship. We're like Mick Jagger and who's the hammer guy who plays guitar?
MC Hammer?
Keith Richards.
Keith Richards. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they just show up on stage and make
they
noises.
never talk to each
They don't
other.
talk to each other out.
It's like the Rolling Stones. The Rogue Stones, that's where we are.
It's the Queen's English, man.
That's what it is, man. So here's the thing, guys. Like, we're going to talk about the Queen's English, and we're going to have a daily market recap and a snapshot with Dex. Dex, the Algo Capitalist, is here. Dex, I want you to actually go in there and teach us and show us the way, Dex. Go ahead.
Well, first of all, we got a big major announcement.
Oh, hold on. Before you begin your announcements, hold on, Dex. Hold on. Dex, we have a special webinar. Oh, yes. I'm not going to steal your thunder. I'll wait until the end of the show.
No. Link in the description. And by the way, I'm in the chat as PulseWave. I'm in the chat as PulseWave Trading, so that's me, not Dex. Oh. But yeah, there's a link in the description this Friday. PulseWave Trading for Beginners. It's a very fun webinar. We show you exactly all this PulseWave stuff we talk about. We show you how easy it is, how fun it is, how cool it is. And yes, I know I said it was going to happen last week. I'm not messing with you, but we really are having a price change, and it's going to get more expensive. Spoiler alert. So if you want to lock in the current subscription rate, you join now, and that'll be locked in for the foreseeable future. But Dex. Oh, and I also want to say, please check out Dex's YouTube channel has been renamed PulseWave Trading. You can get a link to it. I'm in the comments as PulseWave Trading. That's Dex's YouTube channel. And there's a little hint as to what our new name is going to be. So there's another spoiler.
It's
but
5G
please go and subscribe over there. Subscribe over there if you're a fan of Dex. He and I are doing a daily show where we're taking chart requests. We're mostly answering questions from people inside of our trade room. But anybody can ask a question, and we have some really great discussions. So that's actually right before the Daily 10. So it's around 10:30, 11 every day, and then this is around 11:30 every day. So subscribe to PulseWave Trading, his new YouTube channel, and me and him will be on there. The show's called Frank Trades with Dex, and we have a lot of fun with it. So please check it out, RogueNews people. All right. Now Dex has this big news, man.
I don't know if I want to share now. I don't know if I feel like sharing now. After all that, I don't know.
Hey man, you have 7 minutes to share. Come on.
I'm in my feelings. I don't know. We have to talk about my feelings first.
Fine.
Robert Mueller hurt his feelings this morning.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you know the funny thing is.
So it's where Mueller touched you on the doll.
Is that
Show us where Mueller touched you on the doll.
As soon as we got on this morning,
I want you to show us where Robert Mueller.
As soon as we got on, Mueller got on and started messing up Dex's shorts and stuff.
Oh my goodness! That right there, you get 100 points for that one.
Well, if you're not on PulseWave Trading, your shorts would have been messed up anyway. With you should be wearing your brown shorts.
But actually, Dex, the market kind of held in where you thought it was going to, didn't it?
Yeah, it held, but then as soon as he left the podium, everything just crashed. We're hitting new lows in the Dow futures. We're down over 400 points.
I'm confused. I thought you were short. I was confused about what you were.
Yeah, I did. I took a short position in the Russell, which means I'm long the TWM, the inverse ETF. So long and strong on that one.
So that was good. So you did okay.
Yes.
Oh, okay, cool. You kept confusing me about it.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to teach you. I'm trying to show you the way, man.
Well, that's why we do Frank Trades with Dex. I open the show by saying I don't know what I'm talking about, so no one can make fun of me for that.
Well, that makes two of us.
The show is about how I don't know what I'm doing, and Dex is showing me how to trade. That's literally the premise of the show. So
it's
that way
I
don't have to feel embarrassed when I ask questions because that's the premise.
All right, so check this out. Big major news, folks.
Okay.
All right, now this is serious. All right. We found out why Hat broke $40 and then pulled back. Remember how I told you that certain ETFs or equities act as indicators and indexes in and of themselves?
Yep.
And how Hack was one of those. We had a major cyber security threat that the news has been pretty good to black out.
Yes.
So let's go there. The beautiful city of Baltimore, Maryland got hacked by none other than the NSA.
Wow.
So let's break it down. Let's go there. So first of all, the NSA has decided that it was going to create some dangerous viruses.
Yeah,
like
what could go wrong?
And all that. So they've been creating these things. It's like the CDC creates, weaponized viruses.
We're going to make an incurable Ebola. What can go wrong?
So here's what happened. The entire city of Baltimore now is basically been kidnapped and is being held for ransom. The ransomers are demanding tens of thousands of Bitcoins for payment. And again, this ransomware came directly from the NSA. The NSA claims that it was stolen.
Yeah, it's BS.
And they're taking no responsibility. As a matter of fact, the media that has reported on it is blaming Baltimore for having lax security. So let's get this straight. Okay. So
I have a feeling this is not going to be a daily 10.
I'm driving down the road in my car, right? Obeying all traffic laws. My car has all of its maintenance. It's in perfect condition. I'm obeying the speed limit. I'm driving on my side of the road. And all of a sudden, a meteor falls out of the sky and squishes me in my car.
Mm-hmm.
The news says man squished to death in his car, but it's his fault because he should have had meteor security.
He didn't have a meteor shelter.
He didn't have it. His car did not have the new meteor design that we have for cars now. So they blame me. All right, so that's what's happening here. The NSA gets robbed, so they say, and they're not taking responsibility for something that they created and is now holding the city of Baltimore ransom. So the question is, if they knew that this information was stolen from them, okay, and they didn't report it, it didn't come out in the news that they have received, this breach of security, why didn't they warn all the local municipalities and all the states? Why didn't they do that? And since they're the ones that created it, I know they built some type of back door or something in there that they can control. So why can't they get them out of this?
Mm-hmm.
And why can't they find out who and where this threat is coming from? And how did it get stolen in the first place? So you're trying to tell me the most secure infrastructure on the planet, that is the NSA, itself gets hacked? And you're blaming Baltimore for lax security? And you're the NSA and you get hacked? So again, you get hacked, you're the NSA, but then you blame a state municipality that is not in the security business for having lax security. But what about your lax security and getting your own technology, your own intellectual property stolen from you in the first place?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So this is absolutely ridiculous. And they're not even helping the city of Baltimore in this situation. So this right here is a national security threat. And the agency that's tasked with helping us with our national security is not even lifting a finger to help. So it lets me think that there's more to this story than meets the eye. Because A, how did it get out? The only way that you can get into the NSA is if you work there. So that means you have someone who works there who basically is some type of a spy or working with some type of terrorist group. So see, this is the problem that we are faced with, you guys. Remember when Kennedy said that, you know, we are in trouble because of this shadowy entity. Its mistakes go unnoticed and untalked about and covered up, blah, blah, blah. Well, here we are. Here's an example of an organization that for the most part we know absolutely nothing about. We know more about the FBI than we do about the NSA.
I'm in the wrong business. I should just start, download this stuff and start attacking cities all over the place and demand money.
Well, look, we need to deal with this. And see, this is why I say that,
hold on. You know why I know this is a stupid inside job?
Why is that?
I know this is for a fact. This is a stupid inside job because the hackers are asking for 13 bitcoins. I mean, are you kidding me? You're gonna paralyze. You're gonna bring a city to halt, and you're asking for 13 bitcoins.
Well, see, this is the part where I agree.
So basically, $100,000 in Bitcoin.
I agree with David Icke on this one point. Is that first of all, our biggest problem is that the people that we rely on getting news about what's happening in the life of government is the crooked government itself. So how can you rely on any information that comes from a government that is corrupt? Mm-hmm. You can't. So the real issue is we know this is a false flag type of an operation because if you can hold cities for ransom, this is just the test dummy for this to see how it's going to work. Plus, if the NSA is in the business of protecting our so-called infrastructure, our electronic infrastructure,
dude, you know what
are they doing? Making viruses,
dude. The whole point is this. This is a self-inflicted gunshot wound, and I'll tell you why. First of all, you were on the money, folks. If you didn't heard it the first time, the hack index, as Dex predicted, is going to jump. It jumped. And then this whole Baltimore thing.
What do you call it? You call it the false flag? The false flag index, though. What's your
called the false flag? The cyber attack
false flag
index.
Yep.
That went up right before this BS happened. Okay, so there's some funds being made there. So look, the equivalent of what they're doing, these so-called hackers that nobody can seem to find. First of all, the NSA is not going to create some sort of a ransomware or malware and then leave it open for somebody to hack. No. There's tracer programs that are guaranteed to be in the actual malware or virus or whatever that will allow the NSA to trace it and keep track of it. They're the ones behind it. Why? Because they need to get everybody on the smart grid. They need to get everybody on the updated infrastructure with the smart grid. And with the, what else they need? They need the ubiquitous Internet of Things to connect all the devices. And if the cities was on smart grids, none of this would have happened. Even though smart grids are getting hacked left and right. Their smart homes are getting hacked left and right. And if you notice when people say, oh, the power plant, we're worried about the power. Most power plants are offline, folks. They're not connected to an internet. They're actually connected to an intranet. And there's no way to really get into there unless it's an inside job. So how this whole thing goes on, because Baltimore had old infrastructure. They were using Windows 95. Okay. They're using Windows 95 with outdated security features. Okay. So these hackers did the equivalent of Dr. Evil on Austin Powers, right? What did he do? I'm going to hold the world ransom. $1 million. And you're like, everybody starts laughing. So let me get this straight. These guys shut down one of the biggest cities in the United States, and they're asking for, drum roll please, $100,000. I mean, this is a joke. But we want it in Bitcoin. 13 Bitcoins. And there's the trigger right there. Notice the number. 13 Bitcoins. Dex, what was the amount that the hack index hit prior to? What was the high that it hit prior to?
It broke $40. I know that.
Yeah, it was like 40 something, right?
Yep.
God, let me pull this up. Dex, are you have a way of pulling up? There's a clue.
I'll pull it up. I got you. Hold on. I got you.
Yeah, Frank, pull it up. Yeah.
I got your back.
I got it. Here, I'll share my screen.
Share your screen, Frankie.
$41.99.
Dex, I'm going to all this trouble to share my screen.
I owed you that because you beat me last time. The last episode, last show, you got me. So,
this is the.
You want the weekly, Dex?
Yeah, the weekly, the $41.99. So, yep, there you go.
It ran up.
hit 41.99 and then pulled right back right after the story.
Right here.
And we've been dropping since.
This is the weekly.
Okay, let's figure this out real quick.
What do you want? The 4 hour?
No, you had it with that weekly chart.
Weekly.
You had it with the weekly chart because what happened was this news is just now being released.
Oh, I got you. Okay, so it's old.
See what I'm saying? Right.
Oh,
and that's ran up prior to the event being announced. Just like I said. Mm-hmm.
So it was happening in here.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They knew what they planned to do, and just like V just mentioned, they knew that the only way to get people to go along with it is to do a false flag and get people to say, "Oh, I'm begging for this. We need this type of security." And again, what is the NSA doing? Creating viruses. Just like what is the CDC doing? Creating weaponized viruses. I thought you were in the business of healing people and trying to find cures to diseases, not building more deadly diseases. I thought the NSA was in the business of keeping the country safe, national security, things of decoding things and listening in on terrorist phone calls and things of that nature, not creating viruses that can take down entire countries and states and cities and municipalities. That's not curing anything. That's you being the destructor. So that's what we have going on here, folks. And no one is saying a word. I haven't heard anyone speak up. Nobody has said anything out of the White House, Capitol Hill, Congress, nothing. No one is saying nothing. What they did was turn the media hounds on the story and blame Baltimore. They're not in the business of cybersecurity. They're a municipality. So the government is now attacking its own citizens, attacking its own states. And this is the result that we're getting. This is why the stock market is reversing today. This is why the stock market is in full-blown correction mode. This is why the Dow right now is poised to drop another 3,000 points.
There you go, 3,000 points. Now, here's the deal, right? So check this out. So they want 13 Bitcoins. 13, okay? And then 41.99 was the high of the hack before the whole entire Baltimore incident came into place, right? 41.99 is what? 4 plus 1 plus 9 plus 9. That's 23. And what is 23? 23, what's 2 divided by 3? 666.
There you go. There you go.
Dude, it's their fingerprints all over. 23 is also the 23 ascended masters. 23 or 2 plus 3 is 5. 5 is the number of man. The whole
13 was the first giveaway. The 13 was the first.
The 13 is the first giveaway. No hacker group. Dude, remember when actual real hackers hacked? I think it was some sort of a ransomware that went globally on computers, just on desktop computers. They wanted what, like $50 million? But these guys bring down a city. They went $100,000. We want 13 Bitcoins.
Exactly.
And the hack index of 41.99, which is 23. You add it up in the occult, and 23 2 divided by 3 is what? 666.
Yeah. Here's my thing: if someone had that WannaCry type of a
program, that's what it was. WannaCry.
Why didn't they attack the NSA itself and say we want this money from you?
Yeah.
If they stole it from the NSA.
Hey, am I sharing my
Baltimore? Why attack a city like Baltimore?
You are.
It's broke and has no money. Why not attack a rich place? Why not attack New York or California or Miami, Florida, or something like that?
Yeah.
Why is it Baltimore? Why is it a predominantly indigenous population?
I don't know what you mean by this indigenous talk.
What does that mean?
What does that mean?
Indigenous means individuals that have more melanin than the majority of people.
Indigenous.
See, I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means.
Okay.
You trying to get me in trouble.
You can't get in trouble.
Okay. Well, first of all, we're talking about a black city.
We can get in trouble.
City. How about that? A black city. How about that?
I can't say that.
I can't say all Baltimore.
Everybody's seen the TV show The Wire. They know what time it is in the city of Baltimore. Blah blah blah. All right. So let's just get this straight. Look, I don't hear.
Here's the bigger thing: Baltimore, right? You have a lot of defense contractors that are in that area as well. You have that. You have.
That's what I was thinking. It's local to.
It's local to DC, and what is also 5? What's 23 is 2 plus 3 is 5. 5 is what? The pentagram. So it's just, or the pentagon. Defense. It's there's too much. Anyway, it's not a coincidence.
It's not a coincidence. And on top of that, I don't hear none of your Democrats crying foul play. They're attacking the city of Baltimore. They're attacking the poor people, and no one's speaking out. That chick Cortez ain't saying nothing about that.
Well, I don't hear talking about that.
Or the Muslim chick, I forget her name. I don't hear her screaming. Foul play about this. Y'all supposed to be about the people, about the little man, about your disenfranchised political base. How come you ain't talking about what's happening in Baltimore and making the NSA take responsibility? How come heads ain't rolling at the NSA? Who was in charge of protecting such intellectual property? Where was the breakdown? How was it so easy to hack into NASA? See, that's the thing, you guys, and this is the part that really gets me, is how our government fails on multiple levels. No heads roll, no accountability. They blame instead the perpetrator. They say, well, it's their fault, just like on 9/11. So
blaming the victim in this case.
These hackers had the power to basically bring down the most powerful electronic agency on the planet, but they take no responsibility for that. Just like on 9/11, some hijackers with box cutters took command of NORAD, took command of all these different things, and crashed planes. We're supposed to believe that.
Yeah, of course.
So really, what we're saying is that America is weak and crumbling.
We all know that goat herders in Afghanistan in a cave could bring down a multi-trillion-dollar defense network.
Of course, and not only that, to me, it's more proof that not only is America's infrastructure falling apart, but everything about it is falling apart. It's crumbling from a moral crisis. It's crumbling from spiritual crisis. It's crumbling from all the fraud and manipulation. It's just so many things going on. This is just more proof that the USA is in big trouble, and no one seems to care.
I remember I'm just reminiscing. I wasn't woke back when 9/11 happened. I remember the media.
I remember talking to Frank back then.
Remember,
Frank
just stop. Just be quiet. Let me.
Come on. Can I just say?
Remember, no. Remember,
why not? No. They hate us for our freedoms.
I never said that. How dare you, sir? How dare you?
I remember so vividly. I face palm.
You didn't.
I had the face palm emoji going on in my head
before the face palm emoji was even invented. We didn't meet for years after that.
Well, not on 9/11, but 2007.
But I remember. I had a point I was aiming. I remember back then. The media had it firmly implanted that if you questioned the story,
you're with them.
You lacked patriotism and you hated the troops for some reason. And like I look back at that now and I go, how is that like a plausible line of reasoning that you like hated America if you questioned the story? I guess it's by questioning your government's involvement in it. I guess that's how they do it. But it's like hating the troops. The troops are the ones who are getting the worst of this situation. So it's so weird though how they spin things.
Well, I know this. I know that for a fact that there's more to it than meets the story. And in addition to that, I think it stinks to high heaven, man, because once again, every time they come out with a story, the CDC has lost a virus. It was stolen out of here. No one really says anything. No one holds anybody accountable. How are people able to steal anything? Do you understand how secure some of these government offices are? Very. They don't just have body scanners and metal detectors when you walk through the door. They got retina scans, man, and all types of stuff.
Retina scans?
That too. You ain't look when you walk up out of there.
I don't know what buildings you're walking into.
They can see what's in your stomach, man.
Oh my god!
You ain't getting through the rectal scan. That's right. They got that too. They got that too.
Anyway, guys, we're at the end of the show. Frank, why don't you give a shot the last bit of info for the webinar, and we'll close out.
Two things we keep saying. We're getting ready to release a new website under new branding, and our price structure is changing. So if you want to get the current price structure, which is lower than the new price structure, you want to join now and lock that in at least for the next,
And if you want to profit from disasters like Baltimore and get in on that hack thing.
Yeah, we talked about this. The PulseWaves predict these things. Dex and I were always, Dex, we do a lot of shows, a lot of info going out. So yeah, you got to be in there and get those PulseWaves. So, but if you want to learn what our service is all about, register. Link is in the description. If you want to, if right now you got some time and you want to watch our last webinar, you can go. I'm having a little trouble with the site actually, but you can try to go to remaincalm.net//trade, remaincalm.net/trade, and you could actually watch the last one that we put up. So, but if you want to be on live with us, you want to talk to V, you want to talk to Dex, you can talk to me. Link is in the description. Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern, we go live with our PulseWave trading for beginners. And it's a lot of fun. We tell you what kind of accounts you're going to need, capital requirements, which are lower than most people think. And that's capital requirements for using various brokers. Yeah, you could virtually nothing. You could be trading. All that. How much time it's going to take you every week. We talk about all that kind of stuff. It's pretty short, about a half hour, and but we stay on longer to take questions. So join us. Link is in the description. Thanks for listening.
Absolutely. Have a great day, guys. Cheers.
Peace.